This is part 18 of our Never Buy a Clayton Manufactured Home from Hell videos. And in this video, we are going to be proving the fraud and criminal misconduct of State Inspector Howard Delk in the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division. Let's get started. The date is June 17th, 2020, and this was at the peak of the coronavirus pandemic.
Good morning.
Morning.
Richard and Howard with the state of Texas.
Ernie,
I don't know who that was.
you're not parking in here.
That's it, folks?
Yes, sir.
Now, I've told all these people that the other parties involved in the sale and the installation of the home, and I've indicated that they need to attend this inspection. And this,
So did you hear that? He called them all and told them that they need to attend this inspection during a pandemic.
and this guy is your installer right here.
Wait, he can park in the street. He can come in. He can park straight.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah. I have pigs running around. I have horses running around.
Okay. And you're going to let him know that he come on in? Because that, I think we maybe.
I don't know why they all need to be here. Is it for an agitator? They've all been here once already.
Well, I mean, I don't know that, but I mean.
Well, I have it all on video. We recorded everything. Everything. Come on in.
I was not happy that Inspector Delk was throwing a pandemic party on my property.
Besides that, there's social distancing, right? You can't have too many people in this house. But
Now, I don't think that that's funny at all, right? They're both laughing. These are two state employees. They are representing the state of Texas.
Somebody lied to me. They said this house is 2,244 square feet, and it is not. This house is 1,942 square feet. Come on in. Is that Howard?
Yeah, I'm Howard.
Now, Inspector Delk had open sores on his face, which he continuously and repeatedly picked at throughout his inspection. He had no problems touching anybody or anything during this pandemic. Nice, huh?
Housing.
Who's out in their truck?
Don't know. I'm guessing that might be
By the
somebody
retailer or
from
the
the retailer.
I don't know. Come on in.
A little breeze here anyway. That's nice.
For now.
Yeah.
See right here? That's where the installer come up with a machine and destroyed my concrete.
Your air conditioner's really cool.
Now, this is the attorney of Clayton Homes, and he comes to these inspections for one reason and one reason only, and it's to build a case against the consumer. He does not care what happened. He does not care what the damages are. His job is to keep Clayton Homes from repairing as much of the damage as he can, and he'll use the fraudulent reports from these crooked state inspectors to do it. And had I known that he was the attorney for Clayton Homes, he would have parked on the street also.
I tell you, the way they've been treating us, I'm not doing them any favors. Here, Howard, you see, here's where he did this with this machine, rigging this thing up. Right here.
Right.
Here's where the axle of the missing wheel got stuck. Right here. All right.
Okay, so let's get, we got more people that are going to be showing up.
Oh, yeah, well, are they writing the report?
I'm sorry?
Are they going to be writing the report?
Are they going to be writing a report?
Yes.
Writing, I don't know, I'm guessing they might be writing a report, might be writing my report.
Okay.
Now, it sure seems that Inspector Delk is more interested in the people that he ordered to attend this inspection than the inspection itself. Am I right? Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit. We don't need to see Inspector Delk jumble in his papers. And we're going to pick it up from here.
Oh, come on over here a second. I want you to see this.
Well, I don't want to start looking at things right now.
Well,
Until we can get everybody in here who's going to be attending this inspection. That's what I want to do, is make sure, because I don't want to have to duplicate effort. And,
they have no reason to be here. None of them. None of them.
they do.
Why?
They have reason to be here.
Why?
They
Why?
do, because the law requires us to notify them and for them to suggest.
Yeah, there's a...
Now, that is not what he said at the gate. He said at the gate that he had called all those people and indicated that they need to attend the inspection during a pandemic. And now he says that the law requires him to notify them. Let's see what else he says.
A lot of things in the law that requires, and I tell you, none of it has been done so far.
Okay. But what we're going to do is give everybody, I have called all these people and I've asked them to attend this inspection, and
He called all these people and asked them to attend the inspection during the pandemic. Now we're going to fast forward again until everybody shows up.
Everybody here?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Come on in.
Now we're going to fast forward again. We don't need to waste a bunch of time on introductions.
This is the second consumer complaint inspection for this house. There was the first one back in, I guess it was in January, was it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
January, I think it was.
15.
And, so after that first inspection, there was questions about whether or not all the issues had been addressed and resolved, and that's why this, second inspection has been, scheduled, opened and scheduled. And, the first inspector was Jimmy Turner. I was assigned to do the second inspection.
So he said that this second consumer complaint inspection had been opened because there was a question on whether all the issues had been addressed and resolved. Now let's see why it was really opened. Now, this is an email that was sent from Jim R. Hicks, who at the time was the Deputy Executive Director. He sent this email on May 27th, 2020, and he sent it to Eric Franklin. He's the Manager of Licensing, Enforcement, and Installations. And this is what he wrote. He wrote, Eric, see below email from Mr. I'm sure you've already seen a copy before. Even though Mr. has not filed a complaint on a required form or online, as a courtesy to Mr., please open a new consumer complaint regarding his home. And also, please get with Bradley to assign new inspectors to the complaint. I would suggest we send 2 of our most seasoned inspectors, maybe Howard and Randall. If you have any questions, we can meet tomorrow. Thanks, Eric. So, Jim R. Hicks, who is now the Executive Director, is responsible for opening the second consumer complaint inspection. And he did it because he knew that we had the goods on the first consumer complaint inspector, Jimmy Turner. And he needed somebody to come here and clean up the mess. And that somebody was their most seasoned inspector, Howard Delk. There's only one problem. And now we have Inspector Howard Delk on video. And they're not going to like how this turns out. Let's get back to the inspection.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is just go ahead and get started with the inspection. Now,
No, we're going to get started with the videos.
no, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not watching video.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
I'm not watching videos. I'm telling you right now, I'm not watching videos.
Well, then you can go. You can leave. So Inspector Delk has the same responsibilities as Inspector Jimmy Turner. Section 1201.356. The report shall specify each of the consumer's complaints. And according to the audit, on the regulatory activities at the Manufactured Housing Division in October 2019, number 4 says, clarify in a field bulletin to staff that any documentation related to deviations found during an installation inspection must be included with the permanent record. The SOP 250901 for installation inspection has been updated to reflect this information, and Field Bulletin 2020-001 issued to alert staff. But we cannot get Inspector Delk to look at our first complaint, which is Clayton Home's personal installer, Car Mobile Home Service, destroying both halves of the house and the concrete foundation on video. So we're going to put that on the board for number 1, refuse to watch the installation video.
Violation of the code and who's responsible. Sometimes afterwards I have to get documentation to do that.
I think you people at the state are a little too cozy to these manufacturers or retailers. Be honest with you.
Okay.
This is so in the regulatory thing.
Okay, now, what you're doing is alleging something, you're alleging collusion.
It's not alleging if you can prove it, correct? It's against the law. That's what their attorney did to Jimmy Turner, right? Set the tone. Here's the first problem right here.
Okay.
Here's where he destroyed my $25,000 slab. Here's where the axle got stuck,
Yep.
right? We had to put a 2x4 or 2x6 down for him to get up here.
Okay. All right. Now, you know what this is? This is technically transportation damage.
That's a lie. Because the minute the house is disconnected from the transport truck, which just so happened to be on the street in front of my property, it becomes installation. Tell me I'm wrong, Inspector Delk. I dare you. So we're going to put that on the board for number 2. Lied about when the installation begins. And then he writes in his report, homeowner showed chipped concrete slab foundation at driveway and a home, not a jurisdictional item. And I'm sure any jury would agree that a chip is the size of a quarter. not 2 foot long and 4 inches deep, correct? So we're going to put that on the board for number 3. He downplayed the damage to the foundation.
Okay, let's go to the next item.
Now, how big do you think that gap is right there? This is a 6 foot level. It's 1 foot to right here. It's 2 feet to right there. And this gap up here is every bit of 3 inches. Now let's see what the criminal, State Inspector Howard Delk, has to say about it.
Okay, is this an issue that you pointed out to Jimmy Turner?
Yes, sir.
And what did Jimmy say about this?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, and your complaint is that it's what, out of plumb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Now,
can't you tell?
yeah, I can see that it's not absolutely plumb. You know what the code says about how walls being plumb? 0.
Now, that's a lie, isn't it, Criminal Delk? Let's watch this from another angle.
Okay, and your complaint is that it's what, out of plumb? Yeah. Okay. Now, can't you tell? Yeah, I can see that it's not absolutely plumb. You know what the code says about how the walls being plumb? 0. There's nothing in the code that says walls have to be plumb. All they have to be is structurally sound.
Now, you see the guy that just took the picture right there? That is Eric Tompax. He is the vice president of NTA. And his company's insignia is stamped into the HUD label that's affixed to the side of the house. See right there? NTA. Which means his company inspected this house at the time of construction. They were the quality control for this house. But it states right here in statute 3286.511, inspector qualifications. B, independence required. The inspector must be independent of the manufacturer, the retailer, the installer, and any other person that has a monetary interest. So which is it, Eric Tompax? Are you the certified HUD inspector? Or are you the expert witness for Clayton Homes liar attorney Brent Wells? Because you can't do both. Looks like old Eric Tompax is double dipping. And I'm pretty sure federal HUD didn't know this was going on. They know now. So in a minute, I'm going to ask Eric Tompax if he got a picture of this. He tells me he did get a picture of it, and then he takes another picture, and then I want you to see where the flash lands on this picture.
If the wall is a listed video, if you want to watch the video, I'm going to bring it up here. You'll see it twist. Now, what I'm telling you is that the code does not address it, right? No, I'm coming here to give you information. You're the one arguing. I'm trying to give you information. Would you be happy if this was your house? I might not be, but what I'm saying is that what can I do for you as an agency? I'm not saying that the industry won't fix that for you. They may be able to fix it for you. What we're here to look at is what can I get our agency to make them fix for you? It's not a code violation, is what I'm telling you.
Take a picture of that?
Yeah, right. My responsibility.
Now, did you see where that flash was? I rewound it so you could see where that flash winds up. It's way down here. Let's watch.
My responsibility.
Did you see that? Now, I rewound it to the first picture, and you can see where the flash is on this one. It's way up at the top. Let's watch.
Zero. There's nothing in the code that says walls have to be plumb. All they have to be is structurally sound.
So, did you see that? Now, do you know why he took 2 separate pictures? This one up here, there's a big gap up here. The one down here, there's no gap. And neither one of those pictures had made it into his report. And I'm going to show you why. Now, this book is the National Association of Home Builders Residential Construction Performance Guidelines. And on page 4, it says right here, Performance Guidelines. The interior face of a wood-framed walls should not be more than 3/8 inch out of plumb for any 32 inches in any vertical measurement. So these are felonies these guys are committing, and we want them prosecuted. So we want the general manager of Clayton Homes, Jeffy Levy, prosecuted for fraud. We want the installation inspector from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, Derek Scroggins, prosecuted for fraud. We want the first consumer complaint inspector from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division, Jimmy Turner, prosecuted for fraud. And now we want State Inspector Howard Delk and Eric Tompax from NTA. We want both of them prosecuted for fraud. And we want upper management of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Manufactured Housing Division investigated for covering for these criminal state inspectors. So we're going to put that on the board for number 4, lied about the walls being plumb.
My responsibility is to let you know what is a code violation and what isn't. That is not a code violation.
Look at these windows.
Yeah.
They look good to you.
I don't know which one you're pointing to.
He's right here. These ones popping out like a pimple.
They leak.
Not a code violation.
They
Not a
leak.
code violation. Not a code violation.
Is it a code violation if they leak every time it rains?
It leaks. Both these windows leak.
If they leak, that's a code violation. Now, do you have a hose you can spray it on the windows? We can see that?
Oh, well, we don't know where it's leaking from. They silicone these like 8,000 times.
Have they leaked? Have they leaked?
Yes.
They leak every time it rains.
Okay. All right. Well, can you put a hose on it so we can see?
Not right this second, I won't. I will. All right? As soon as you watch the video of him bringing that thing up here, then I'll put a hose on there for you. How's that?
You're ready.
So, did you hear Inspector Delk laughing? You know, he thinks this is all a game, right? Now, take a good look at these windows. Let's watch Inspector Delk from another angle.
So my responsibility is to let you know what is a code violation and what isn't. That is not a code violation.
Look at these windows.
Yep.
Huh?
Now, a toddler can see that there's something wrong with these windows. But it doesn't matter. He didn't put it in his report anyway, so we're going to put that on the board for number 5, windows popping out of the back wall.
They look good to you.
I don't know which windows you're pointing to.
These right here. These ones popping out like a pimple.
Uh-huh. It's not a code violation.
No, it's not a code violation?
It's not a code violation.
Huh?
Not a code violation.
It leaks. Both these windows leak.
If they leak, that's a code violation. Now, do you have a hose you can spray it on the windows? We can see that?
Well, we don't know where it's leaking from. They silicone these like 8,000 times.
Have
You
they
can see
leaked-
it all
have
over.
they leaked since then?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they leak every time it rains.
Okay. All right. Well, can you put a hose on it so we can see?
Not right this second, I won't. I will. All right? As soon as you watch the video of him bringing that thing up here, then I'll put a hose on there for you. How's that?
So we're going to put that on the board for number 6. He wouldn't believe the homeowners that the windows leak, and they still leak. So I think we're going to wrap up this part of Criminal Delk's inspection. We still have a long ways to go. And as soon as we're finished with Criminal State Inspector Howard Delk's report, we're going to dive into Criminal Eric Tompax from NTA's report. And sooner or later, the right person's going to pick up this story. And until then, we're going to keep making videos. We're going to keep hanging signs. We're going to keep making shirts. And we're going to keep passing out flyers. Because no one should be treated like this for buying one of these houses. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Thanks for watching. And see you in a couple weeks.